So now getting away from the ranking the potential Super Bowl matchups, now conference playoff predictions. Let's start away from your team. Start on the AFC side, AFC Conference Championship game. We have the Ravens versus the Chiefs. Who's taking this one, in your opinion?
Chiefs, Ravens, Chiefs. What's the weather going to be like?
Well, they're playing in Baltimore, right?
I want to see what the line is. I'm curious. Because the people in Vegas, they're smarter than me because they said that the 49ers are going to win by 10 against the Packers.
Yeah.
Baltimore 3.5-point favorites.
It looks like it is supposed to rain. Has a 90% chance of rain. 46 degrees on Sunday.
Chiefs.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, the weather doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You see him in the game.
I mean, obviously, you see my reaction. I'm going with the Ravens. So
Tua looked like he was on the struggle bus against the Chiefs in that weather, and Patrick Mahomes just playing like it was 60 out there.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. But I think, why I have a hard time with that is because the Ravens are built for that type of weather.
We played the Ravens 2 years ago in the rain when the 49ers, I think they were undefeated, like 9-0 through the first 9 games of the season. We played them in the rain, and Lamar couldn't throw the ball for shit. We just kept committing penalties, and they kept just moving down the field, and he ran all over the field on us. So I don't know. I'll say the Chiefs just to pick opposite of you, but if you told me the Ravens win, I'm not surprised. I just in the biggest game with the talent being even, I go to the head coaches. Andy Reid to me is the more spearhead coach because he actually affects the game. He calls plays. Harbaugh doesn't. And who has the better quarterback? The Chiefs do. So,
yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I mean, if you tell me that the Chiefs win the game, if I don't watch the game and you tell me, hey, Chiefs won the game on Sunday, it's the same thing. I'm not surprised as that flips over either.
It's a low key massive legacy game for Mahomes because they got all the reasons not to win. The Ravens have been kicking everybody's ass. They have all the talent. Mark Andrews is going to be back, and the Chiefs are clearly at a deficit this year. They got they've gone to a power run game with Pacheco, and they don't have a ton of weapons, proven offensive weapons. If he comes out, well, first of all, the fact that he came out and spanked Josh Allen is nice. If he comes out and takes his team back to the Super Bowl in light of us talking all season about it being a down year for him, massive legacy game for Mahomes. Now, if he loses, he has all the excuses built in, so it's okay. But because
it doesn't matter as much.
When has Mahomes ever lost this game?
He lost it against
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Okay, well,
he lost it against. Did he? Was it the Bengals?
6 straight AFC Championship games. I mean,
Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah,
he lost against. Yeah, that's the other one. That's another thing. I said, is this the Brady Manning type situation of our era? When we were talking about Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes last week and the predictions for that, and then I saw a stat that says, well, Joe Burrow against this Manning Brady matchup is 5-1 against them. So let's calm down.
Yeah, well, Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm a big Joe Burrow fan, but he's a sitting duck back there, and the longevity wise, that's not great.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you're going Chiefs, I'm going Ravens. Now shifting over to the Niners and Lions game. Both on the same boat on this one. We're both going Niners, right? You going Lions?
Can you give me a score prediction?
Oh, 28-10.
Wow. The Lions can score, bro. You think they score 10?
Yeah. Because I think with how well that your coach game plans, and as much as certain people that we know love Dan Campbell, we've seen some really horrible coaching from Dan Campbell down this stretch, like the most important stretch of the year. He's coached pretty piss poor. I mean, congratulations, you got a rah, culture changing coach. I think that's great, as much as you could take great away from it. But I think he's going to get out coached, outclassed, and I think it's going to be an embarrassment. 28-10.
The 49ers have kicked Jared Goff's ass, and that was with
Yeah.
Sean McVay as the head coach. Now I
Yeah.
know their OC over there in Detroit, he's going to get a head coaching job, and he wants $15 million, all that good stuff. But Kyle Shanahan and Steve Wilkes got embarrassed last week. I don't care what anyone says. We got the W. That was embarrassing. Everything we were doing on offense, he can't grip the fucking football, and you're spreading it out. We're going empty backfield when you got the offensive player of the year back there, and you're just going to let Purdy throw the ball 45 times when he can't. You see the slow motion video of he took his hand off the ball and he dried his hand on the towel before he threw a pass. I was like, what are we doing? Run the Wildcat. This isn't working. I just think, in light of all that, as long as if I were the Lions, I would put Amon-Ra on Ambry Thomas and just go deep every play, because you're probably going to get 300 yards and pass interference penalties. But outside of that strategy, their tight end, I don't think should be able to hurt us with Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner, and Mooney Ward can follow St. Brown. And outside of that, the one thing that we haven't had in a couple of weeks is a sitting duck quarterback back there that, Nick Bosa hit the quarterback 6 times. We had the conversation about Micah Parsons needing to show up. Nick Bosa had 6 QB hits. Jordan Love moves the ball, moves around a little bit. We couldn't get him to the ground. Obviously, you saw what happened on the last play of the game, but I think this could be a 2 or 3 sack game for Nick, because Jared can't move. So
yeah, and that's the thing, is when you let a guy like Fred Warner just have free reign over the middle of the field and he doesn't have to spy anybody and he has to do anything. I mean, I said the black hole of Baltimore. I mean, it's the same thing over there in San Francisco too. Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner, again, you give those guys free reign over the middle and just kind of being able to run around on passing downs, you're in trouble. You're taking away that whole everything in between those hashes. You're taking away completely, and it's dangerous.
The one thing about the 49ers is, if you look at their defensive rankings this year, they were a top 5 team until Hufanga blew out his ACL. And then they put the rookie back in there, and the rookie came up with a game-winning interception. And then leading into this game, they're getting the rookie ready. He hadn't played in a month. He'd been injured. And they decided to go with Logan Ryan, who was on a Disney cruise in December. We pulled him off the Disney cruise to come start in the playoffs for us, even though Jair Brown was ready to go. And he was missing tackles in the open field. He had a bad coverage on the touchdown right before the 2-point conversion, the little out to the tight end. So as long as the 49ers don't do anything stupid, like Logan Ryan's not going to be on the team next year. Put Jair Brown in. Let's rock. The worst thing that can happen is Jaquiski Tartt drops a game-sealing interception and we don't go to the Super Bowl. So just don't do anything stupid. I don't need Logan Ryan out there. If somebody else breaks his leg, then fine. It is what it is. But I just think outside of the 49ers with Aaron Jones and his 3.1 yards per carry, and Jordan Love less than 200 yards with all his weapons, and his offense has been historic, and 21 touchdowns and 1 interception, and we largely shut them down except for self-inflicted penalties. Just play 49er football, for the love of God. Set the edges. Let the defensive line do their job. Let the linebackers wreak havoc. And if they beat us straight up, then they beat us straight up. But if we play our game, I think we could be looking at 24 to 9 or 24 to 13 coming out of half, and it might be wrapped up. So I don't know. I'm not nearly as confident as I was. I thought we were going to smack the Packers, and it was going to make it really sweet because I was going to talk crap to you all week. But that scared me, man. And then I'm looking at these post game locker room celebrations. The Chiefs are like, yeah, we just handled that ass like we do. John Harbaugh's got Jim Harbaugh in there leading chants, and the Detroit Lions are freaking out. And then you go to the 49ers locker room and look like a fucking funeral in there. So I'm not super excited, but there's just honestly, I don't know. I want Kyle Shanahan to be the coach for the 49ers for the next 15 years, and I'll never advocate not having him. But he needs to get the Steve Young monkey off his back and win the games that matter, because Andy Reid was a fraud until he won a Super Bowl. Yeah. And The window has been open since 2019. We went in 2019. It's been open since then. It doesn't stay open that long for most franchises. Like, this is our
It's
best
true.
shot this year to make it
Absolutely.
happen.
Yeah,
And if
for
it
sure.
doesn't happen this year, then
Interesting. Yeah, well, so we're looking at predictions of a Ravens Niners Super Bowl matchup. If that's actually the case, I think a full in-depth prediction analysis is due for that one, because I think that's going to be easily the most entertaining game that we can have.